Another wonderful day to look at some of God's Word in four different languages. And I was thinking about a couple things I might talk later about, but why take a look at this? And sometimes we just get so stuck into a very small English box. And God has been the God of the world and the universe for a very long time. And all these other languages have been around actually much longer than English. And so I think it's just great to take a good look at the meaning that would have struck the minds of other people. It's not that we cannot comprehend. Most people in Jesus's day, or many people anyway, were at least bilingual, right? People spoke Hebrew and Greek, and so this is a very normal thing. As a friend of mine said, used to be a very normal thing to have to accommodate other languages, and so I just love doing this. So, and God saw. Let's start going through here. Y vio Dios. Change the spelling of vio to make it past sense there, and the verb first. There are different words for saw, but LXX takes this as sort of like a and beheld the God. And then we have Vayal Elohim, and saw God, probably closest to Spanish there. That it would be the Hebrew. Spanish is probably the closest reflection of that. All right, let's go to the light. We'll do a yellow light. Okay. The light. And we have que la luz, and we'll get to this more. So, okay. Light, tophos, and et haor, direct object marker, the light. Okay, and then that it was good, all do together. Let's change that to blue. That it was good. Okay, four words there in English. Era buena. You remember we also talked about different Spanish uses for was that have already been used so far. We have estaba that was used. We had fue that was used. And each of these are used depending on the context to say something that was happening in the past, but it continued. Something that happened in the past, and then that was it. That was the end of the occurrence. Okay, and so we have different uses for was. So what was it? So just to be aware of that. Sometimes when we say was in English, that might mean 27 different things. Another language helps us to make that a little clearer. Maybe English has its shortcomings. So do other languages, but we need to remember sometimes other languages can make it more clear. Greek doesn't even have a was, and neither does Hebrew. We have that good. Hoti kalon, same thing in Hebrew. That good. Kitov. Vayal Elohim et haor kitov. And God divided. Let's do this part together. So, and God divided. Let's go orange. Okay. And God divided. Hebrew has, and God separated. Y separó Dios. And separated God, made a split da, so sort of the two idea, the two split sort of thing. Separated God. Next part here, the light. Let's go with the yellow once again. Separated the light, la luz. Now here you'll notice we have in Greek an insertion here, and it is the same. It's the word for between. And so what word do I want to use for between? Elohim haor. So the haor in Hebrew is way over here. Okay, and then you have three. Okay, and I forgot. That's because I forgot to do the and got separated. And separated God. Okay, so smart as before. Now we have the word for between. Let's go for got divided the light. We have from the darkness. We don't really have a de las. Okay, separate de, and I'm not going to get into the last because of the last tinieblas. whereas here you have between. What you have here is between the middle. Okay, that's what you have. So separated God between the middle of the light and between the middle of the darkness. And coming from a different language, you might say, oh, well, God, that sounds like God split the light in half and he split the darkness in half. But no, what they're saying is there is a separation between the two. So the light has a separation, and the middle of that separation on the other side is the darkness. And they wanted to say that twice, and that makes more sense to the Greek speaker. And notice we have an and here, and that is accurately reflected with the Hebrew and. But notice no and, we have an and here in Hebrew as well, and that's reflected there. But no and in the English or Spanish in between in between the betweens. So what you have here in Hebrew, let's see, this is the word for between, bane, and then we have bane, and actually I should do that, between, and again, it's like a double way to say it, between the middle. And then the last word is the darkness. So let's go again to the darkness. We'll use black for the darkness. The darkness. And then las tinieblas. I asked my Spanish-speaking friend, I said, hey, so las tinieblas, is there any reason why, las tinieblas is plural? And he's like, well, the same reason why we say las vacaciones whenever we say I'm going on vacation. They say, I'm going on the vacations, okay? In other words, no reason. That's just how they say the darkness. So hope that helps a lot. But it's so interesting. Let me add this last bit. I know I'm already at 7 minutes, but I had a friend, and he was a research professor, it still is, I think, at the Mayo Clinic. And his big reason, one of his biggest reasons for leaving the faith of Christianity was that he said, think about the stars. The stars are millions and millions of light years away. That means it took the light that long to get here. And so obviously, obviously that's how old the universe is. And I said, first of all, the travel of light, as scientists study that more, that seems to be not all that clear just how fast light travels. That's a little bit debated, so we'll see what we find out about that. But secondly, God created the light before he created stars. So light is not dependent on the celestial beings. Celestial beings don't even come until day 4. And so that's just a very interesting thing. How old was Adam when God created Adam? How old were the trees when God created the trees? How old was the earth when God... how old did God make the earth look when he made it? How old did God make the sun look? Did he make stars look like they were exploding for little fireworks? You know what? If God wanted to do that, he absolutely could have. And he could have made the light come here faster so that humans could enjoy it all the quicker, right? And because he made the light before there even was sun, moon, and stars. I love that. We'll get to the stars. I love how it says that God made the stars when we get to that verse. That's all we have for today. I hope you enjoy this as much as I do.